Hello, and welcome to today's live coaching call and community conversation. Today, we are going to be talking about how to create your most authentic life in menopause. And I'm saying specifically in menopause because that is the community that we speak to most often here on YouTube and Facebook. And we're going to use what we all are hopefully here for as well, intermittent fasting and fitness and all the things that we're incorporating in our life so that we age successfully as the foundation for what it is we want and how we're going to do that in our most authentic way. So welcome if you're maybe new to joining us here on YouTube or Facebook. My name is Diane Parham. I'm a fasting mindset coach. I'm a certified exercise nutrition coach as well as a certified running coach, and I do life coaching as well. The reason I focus on mindset here in our community is because if you don't think that what you're doing is going to actually give you the results that you're hoping for, then it will be a short-lived experience for you, and I promise you, you will be disappointed. So we really do work on our thoughts and how it is we're approaching things from a mindset standpoint. So do me a favor in the comment section, leave me a comment. Let me know if you're new or if you're a graduate of the Intermittent Fasting for Today's Aging Woman course. Please let me know what month and year you graduated. I always like to welcome you back to our community and let you know how much I appreciate your support. I do teach intermittent fasting for women who are trying to reverse the signs of aging. It is called the Intermittent Fasting for Today's Aging Woman course. We have a course and community. So if you're interested in that, you can go to fortoday'sagingwoman.com. I'll also put a little link here. You can sign up for my email list. I only email you when registration is open, and you can jump into our next class, which will be May 7th. Okay, so let's get started today on today's topic and conversation. And what it is that I really want us to start thinking about with our life in general and the season of life that we are in, right? So menopause for a lot of women, and I'm going to say myself included, I was this way, was a really hard season for me to get through. But now that I'm on the other side of it, I feel so much better about it, about me, and about everything moving forward, right? But we have to really come to grips in our own mind, in our own thoughts, in our own way of showing up for ourselves, how it is we want our life to be moving forward, right? Because the reality of transitioning through menopause, which does start in perimenopause, that season actually lasts for about 10 years. Then we go through the actual, like, are we not in menopause like season? And then we live the rest of our life post menopause. So half of our life, we are going through the whole menstrual cycle, childbearing years, adolescence and all the things that we go through to get to a place where now we're transitioning out of all of that, and we're going to spend the rest of our life in menopause. And how we think about this season is really going to affect how authentic we show up for ourselves. So for me, I'm hoping that 50% of my life is going to be lived in this post-menopausal season, right? I'm hoping that I live a very long, healthy life moving forward. But I had to come to grips with a lot of things that were going in my life to be able to really feel confident moving forward. And here, we do have a philosophy and a motto that we like to live by, and that is women feeling empowered to wake up every day looking and feeling their best and living their most authentic life. So let's talk a little bit about what living your most authentic life is and how we go about creating it, right? So to create your most authentic life, you really have to live from where you are today, your present self, with where it is you want to go with your future self. Like, that's how you live most authentically, right? You see forward, and all the decisions that you're making for yourselves are going to get you from where you are to where you want to go. Where a lot of people, and I'm going to say women specifically because that's the group that I spend the most time with, and that's the group of women that I do a lot of life coaching and mindset coaching with, is for most women, we are coming from our past, right, into our present self. So we really are recreating a life we've already lived in hopes of having something better, right? And so what I really encourage you to do if you're feeling like you're struggling with committing to intermittent fasting, because that is what we use as our tool for really helping ourselves get through this menopausal season. If you feel like you're struggling, or you're quitting and coming back, or you're feeling frustrated, or you're jumping from program to program, and you have the mindset of this is going to be the last thing I'm going to do, and this is my last resort, and you're feeling desperate and hopeless, what I want you to think about is, what timeline are you on? Are you coming from where you are today with the hopes of moving yourself into a future self that you can actually visualize and see yourself showing up as? Or are you here today chasing something from your past that you're hoping to regain, right? So is your energy in the creating the future, or is your energy in recreating a past? And for women, most women, we didn't like who we even were in the past, right? But we see ourselves today, and we're grasping at having back once what we had at one point, right? Despite the fact that if we were really honest with ourselves, we weren't happy there, right? So I know for myself in my 20s, right, I had very big thought problems with my body image, right? And I probably wasn't doing things in a very healthy way with what I was doing with nutrition and what I was doing with exercise. I definitely over exercised and definitely underate, right? But the sad reality of that season of my life, because my hormones were working in my favor, dang it if that didn't work, right? But I was never really happy in the way I thought about myself and the way I saw myself. So I was always chasing something else, right? Then you get into your 30s. And for me, that was a very difficult childbearing season for me. I started with having my son at 34. I had my second daughter at 40. My daughter at 40. I had a miscarriage in between. And the 30s were a struggle for me as a woman, getting through all of those seasons. And again, trying to get my body back after having a baby and all the things that we did there. And then my 40s to my 50s was the perimenopausal season, and then menopause. And I really haven't come into my most authentic self and the true person that I am until I reached my 50s and really went through that transition into post menopause, where I really felt confident and who I was showing up for. And I made that mindset shift from being this person always looking behind me, hoping to get back what I had lost in a sense, or already lived in a sense, and really creating this woman and this mindset of, I'm here today finding joy in the things that I'm doing, and really showing up as my present most authentic self. And everything I'm doing is so I can continue that journey tomorrow, and the next day, and 10 years from now, and 20 years from now, and 30 years from now, and hopefully 40 years from now, right? And when you make that shift and really think about what you want to create in your life, we can end the yo-yo dieting cycle. We can end the desperate attempt to find the program that's finally going to work for us. We can stop thinking that things are wrong with us. We can stop chasing pipe dreams that aren't going to probably come back for a lot of us. And we can really just find joy in who we are and live in that present moment. And that's really where intermittent fasting has been such a godsend for so many of us women, because we can just sit with ourselves, right? We're not buffering our way through a bad day. We're not using external things to make us feel good for a moment and then realize that we're going to feel bad later in the day. We remove out of the equation what has been the thing that has tripped so many of us up through this part, right? The part that we're actually chasing. We really, if we think about it, if we really get into the present of who we are, we don't want that anyways, right? But it seems better than what we have in our hand today. So how can we live authentically? And I really think it is knowing who you are today, really making conscious decisions for yourself that do allow you every single day to wake up looking and feeling your best, because you know you're making the best decisions for this woman right here, the woman that you want to keep showing up as we go through this aging season. The reality is we're not getting any younger. That's just the hard cold truth, right? We're not getting any younger. But that doesn't mean we can't get better. That doesn't mean we can't get stronger. That doesn't mean we can't get happier. That doesn't mean we can't get healthier. We have all of those things at our disposal if we really want to show up authentically. We can have happy and healthy. They can coexist. And once we make that conscious decision, and that's what we're striving for, that's when I find the women that I'm working with, the women I'm coaching, the women that I'm helping get through this tough season really fall into the woman they're supposed to be, which is their most authentic self. It is not passive. It is an active way we show up for ourselves, right? It's not going to happen on accident. We're actively creating this woman. We're actively showing up for ourselves and making decisions that serve us best so that we can then turn around and serve others. And I think for a lot of us women, again, I always have to refer to myself, right? Myself included. We come into this season of menopause where we're also, for a lot of us, coming into a season where the job that we once had is now complete, right? When a lot of men, just because we're going to make some comparisons here about timelines of life, are retiring or maybe even hitting the peak of their career. For a lot of us women who have left careers or left a certain part of our life to take on a role of being a mother and a caregiver in the home and someone who's going to run everybody else's things and manage everybody else's things so everyone can live their most authentic life, right? Comes to a screeching halt when you've done your job well, when you've raised kids and they've gone off and become independent, when they are doing their own thing and they don't need you anymore. A lot of us feel that sense of loss as well. And again, if we are looking for our future self and all the possibilities we have moving forward, we can show up authentically because we realize we have so much left to give. Now's our time to dig into what serves us well and showing up in that space also. So if you're struggling, I get it. I've been through the same thing. A lot of the women in this community have been through the same thing. We are working on creating our most authentic self so that we can show up for our future self, right? And it's okay if you're feeling lost. It's okay if you're feeling struggle. It's okay if you're having a hard season. What we want to make sure that we're doing is showing up to get through the hard season to prove to ourselves we can, in fact, and that on the other side of that is a great life waiting for us to take advantage of. So let me see what we have here today. Kelly Hall, graduate of the March 2022 Intermittent Fasting class. Congratulations, girlfriend. You are new on the streets as an intermittent faster. I hope you're thriving well. One of the things I really like to reinforce about intermittent fasting is that it is not a quick fix approach to this. It's not a quick fix approach to fixing anything from your past, right? Intermittent fasting is the thing that's going to allow your body to heal itself from the inside out, mentally, emotionally, and physically, if you go into it with an open mindset and the opportunity to retrain your thought processes and the mind maps that you've created from your past, right? You can go into taking care of yourself with a different mindset, but you have to be open to that change. If you go in and out of my course specifically, and you don't work on the mindset part of it, I guarantee you, you will be very successful in class because you will be in it in the moment while you're there. If you don't take what you learned about how you show up for yourself and how you feel in the absence of food and how you can thrive in a state of hungry and you don't have to mask feelings and emotions with food and drink and all those kind of things anymore, you can really manage those in a state of just complete emptiness and come empowered in that. Then you change the way you think about how you care for yourself. And I promise you, you can intermittent fast for the rest of your life successfully because you're not going to go back to this person because you're not that person anymore. You've done the work and the healing to keep yourself here. And that is really the underlying premise of the intermittent fasting for today's Aging Woman course and why I really work on the fasting mindset aspect of healing our bodies and not how many grams of protein you're eating or how many minutes you've worked out. Yes, all that matters. Once we get this part fixed up, we can take it to the next level. But if you're not thinking on a healing level, if you're not thinking about how things in your past didn't serve you and how you want things in your future to be different, then I promise you intermittent fasting is just going to be another diet that you tried. And once you stopped, you failed. And we don't want to have that here in this community. Michelle, first time, well, welcome, Michelle. We usually talk about intermittent fasting, but today we're talking about mindset because I think it's super important for us to make that connection of how it is we want to show up for ourselves and how it is we want to serve our future person, right? I look at my future self as like this person that I'm striving to be, and I see her, I see how she's showing up, I see how she dresses, I see the energy that she has, I see the happiness that she has, and I'm constantly making decisions to keep that in my line of sight so that I make sure that I actually get to that place with her for sure. So welcome. Hopefully you've subscribed. We talk about all things for us as women going through menopause. And we're super happy to have you here. Julie, in your April 2020 class, I'm learning so much. Completed my 4th day of 20 hours of fasting, 4 hours of feasting, and loving it. Julie, I'm super excited for you. Take advantage of the time that you're in class to really get that foundation of the 20-hour fast under your belt. I promise you, it is that foundation that you will always come back to when you want to look and feel your best, because there's nothing better than just letting your body do its thing and you moving out of the way. You can lean into the fast when you're having a rough day, when you're feeling tired, when you're super busy, when you have like things outside of the house that you need to do. Like, it's amazing once we make that decision that we're okay without feeding ourselves every couple of hours, how much power you have in controlling your day. And I cannot wait for you to come back in a couple weeks and say that you're a graduate of the April 2022 course and constantly show up here in this community and show how well you're doing because you've done this work too. So I'm super happy for you, super proud to have you in class with us. Adrienne, oh my good Lord, so true. Chasing the last versus focusing on the future. That's exactly what I'm doing. Yes, girlfriend. Okay. So here's what I say to do when you have this aha moment about your thought process is you have to make a decision today that you want more and you want better. And once you make that decision, what I want to also warn everybody about is that it's not about perfect. You're going to have days that are harder than others, and then you're going to have days where you're just like falling into it with ease. And I say go with the flow on those days. When you find a day that you're struggling, all you have to do is pause. Just pause, right? And go back to this statement right here, right? Chasing the past or chasing the future. What direction do you want to put your energy? And if this isn't serving you, then you have to just say, we're not going that direction today. We're going to go this direction today. And all you do is change how you're making decisions. And I promise you, after you've paused and changed directions enough times, your brain will just know to do it on its own. So your brain's going to default to what happens most consistently and most comfortably. Get comfortable with the pause, get comfortable with the direction and the change that you're going to go in. And before you know it, that's just going to be who you are. So keep us posted on how you're doing. I would say write that down somewhere, write it in your planner, put it on a sticky note, put it on your bathroom mirror, put it where you get dressed in the morning, put it in your car, like put that statement somewhere where it will create the pause for you. And I promise you things will start to change magically and it'll be amazing. And Jeanette, welcome. I'm so happy to have you as a new member to our community as well. Please make sure you hit that subscribe button on YouTube so you'll know when we go live. We do this Mondays and Thursdays. We talk about all things for us as aging women. Aging women in this community is a positive statement. It's a statement we're proud to make. We're proud of who we are as aging women because we show up in that way. It is not anything that anyone should feel negative about or feel exhausted by, right? I love the fact that I'm an aging woman because I'm proud of the way I'm doing it. I'm going to be 56 next month and I'm better today than I was 10 years ago. So focus on how you want to show up as an aging woman. Make sure that you're proud of the fact that you're an aging woman because the alternative is something that we do not want to have to face, right? Either you're aging or you're not existing. I prefer aging. So we're just going to make sure that we do that well. CC, January 2022 grad. I'm still thriving, doing 24 and changing it up as needed around my authentic life. Heck yes. That's the other thing that I always want to emphasize here. And I don't think I've said this statement in a while, so I'm going to say it for you guys today. Make sure you're never missing memory making moments because you feel the pressure to fast, right? Never miss a memory making moment. You always get to decide how your day is going to go. Every day, wake up and ask yourself these two questions. How long am I going to fast today based on what my day is looking like and how I want to feel? And then how well am I going to feast today based on my schedule tomorrow and how I want to sleep tonight and how I want to feel when I wake up in the morning? If you can honestly answer those two questions for yourself every single day, then I promise you, you will feel empowered in the way you wake up, looking and feeling your best. That is the most authentic way to live your life, right? How long am I going to fast today based on what my day looks like and how I want to look and feel? And how well am I going to feast? Like, what decisions am I going to make with how it is I'm going to care for my body in a fed state so I sleep well tonight and I wake up tomorrow feeling empowered and ready to start the day? It is magic when we can pause and make those kind of decisions for ourselves in the moment. Pam from Pennsylvania, February 2022 grad. This is so true. I do need to work in this area for sure. We'll be scheduling a personal consult. Thank you so much. Yeah, you're welcome, girlfriend. Yeah, consult calls. If you feel like you are stuck and you like have no idea what this means and you have no way of getting yourself out of this, like you're constantly working backwards through your life and you can't see your future self, book a consult call with a coach. Book a consult call with someone that can help you walk through your thought process. Because remember, our thoughts determine our emotions, and our emotions determine our actions. If you can have someone help you through your thoughts, right, and set up a good action plan, I promise you the end result for you will go from here to here. It is magic when you can get out of your own head and have someone else have you rethink what your thoughts are. It is great. So Pam, I can't wait to have a consult call with you. I love consult calls. They are just they're my like passion project. They're what fuel my soul. They're my love language. So I can't wait to have some time with you. It's super fun. And then Wanda, absolutely perfect timing as usual. Awesome, girlfriend. Yes, we can't work on intermittent fasting. We can't work on moving our bodies efficiently and effectively. We can't work on how it is we want to heal ourselves on the inside if we're not doing the thought work. It will be a short-lived success, and you will blame the failure that you're going to have or that you're experiencing on intermittent fasting. And the one thing I can say, we have a lot of graduates that come back to this community, right? And come back to these calls. And when women who have successfully graduated from the Intermittent Fasting for Today's Aging Woman course start to feel like they're sliding back to here, or they feel like they are losing what they gained while they were in class, is simply because they let life take control of them and they're not taking control of their life. So to truly live authentically, you have to be in control of your life. And that happens through a decision-making process on an even keel foundation, right? So intermittent fasting works. If it worked for you once, it'll work for you twice. It'll work for you 3 times, or as many times as you feel like you have to come back until you convince your brain this is the best way for us to live through menopause. And then again, allowing yourself those memory-making moments so that you can live your life most authentically and be with your people. Everything that we're doing for our future self is for us to have a happy, healthy life moving forward, right? No one wants to struggle or live their life in the pharmacy picking up prescriptions or being limited about our movement because we weren't taking care of ourselves. We do not want that to be our future self. We want to see our future self living abundantly. We want to see our future self living actively with the people we love. We want to see our future self making memories with, I don't know, for me, it's the grandkids I don't have yet and the kids that I want to see blossom into their adult selves and their future selves. And we can't have that if we're broken and living in the past. So we have to work on our mindset. We have to work on our thoughts for sure. And it's magic when it all comes together, right? And a lot of the magic with this, the life coaching part of things, the mindset shift part of things happens because intermittent fasting does allow you to feel good. It allows you to feel energized. It allows you to feel powerful. It allows you to feel confident. It allows you to have your energy back. It allows your brain to think clearly. Like all of the things that are weighing us down in menopause and making us not show up as our best self comes back when we really lean into the power of intermittent fasting. So it is so much more than just a tool to help us reverse the signs of aging as far as medical things. It's also the tool that's going to help us lose the inflammation that's slowing us down and making us have those aches and pains. It's also the thing that's going to give us our energy back. And it's going to allow us to think clearly from a foundation of emotional balance. So the hormonal balance is going to happen, and then lean into that fast and get that strength from your inner self with the emotional part as well. So I hope this speaks to you today. If you feel like you are struggling, go back to your thoughts. Intermittent fasting is great. Working out is fantastic. Choosing nutritious foods that make you feel good about the choices you're making emotionally and feel good about the choices you're making physically. Both of those two things matter. Living a deprived life around food is not a fun life. Don't do that to yourself. Just find a combination of foods that make you happy and healthy, and those two can coexist. Happy and healthy can coexist, but we really have to work on our mindset and create that authentic life. Okay, thanks for hanging out with me today, you guys. I will see you back here on Monday. If you have any questions about the intermittent fasting for today's Aging Woman course, booking some coaching calls with me or consult calls with me, just send me a DM, whether you're on Facebook or YouTube. You can send me an email, whatever it is that I can do for you to help you move into this next season of life, living your most authentic life. I'm here to serve you, and I can't wait to connect with you. Have a great weekend, you guys, and I'll see you back here on Monday. If you are a Lumen user or need some help with your metabolic flexibility, I'm doing a live tomorrow at 1 p.m. Central Standard Time over on my Instagram account. You can find all that in the description box. I'm there to answer questions and give any kind of support I can for anybody who's working on metabolic flexibility and really trying to figure out their nutrition. We do all that on Friday. I'll see you guys later. Have a good weekend. Bye.